Good afternoon everyone, Brandon from Starpoint Australis. Thanks for joining me on Tuesday, the week that was. So, what have we been up to? Well, first of all, apologies for last week. We didn't get a Tuesday update through to you guys. It was a little bit busy, we had a lot going on, and I'd only just gotten back from being out in the wilderness, doing what we love to do, which is astrophotography. So, I am an astrophotographer just like you guys. What targets did we shoot? So we took the hand grenade out there, so the little F2 135mm setup that we've been working on, and you guys have seen that. And we had the 12-inch Newtonian. We had winds sitting around that 20 to 25 k's an hour. It did slow down early in the morning. We're talking about 2 or 3 a.m. On the first night, it was still a little bit of breeze. On the second night it was dead, but for the first half of the night, yeah, we were sitting at 25 k's an hour plus, and I was managing to keep on the 12-inch Newt, I was managing to sit around that 0.3 0.35 RMS total, so that's not too bad on an image scale of 0.44 arc seconds per pixel. So we did that. The targets we shot for the 12-inch, well, we only did one target, so obviously I was only there for 2 nights, one target from dusk till dawn, and that was the Skull and Crossbones Nebula. That should turn out pretty good. I'm playing with it at the moment. I haven't processed broadband images now for a fair while, so I'm just getting my fingers back into what PixInsight and how PixInsight works with that. The little hand grenade shot 2 targets. In the early evening, I was shooting Crux, so the Southern Cross region with you've got the Jewel Box Nebula in there. You've got a couple of beautiful little open nebulas. Then you've got obviously the Coal Sack Nebula that sits right down in the corner of it. So that was that one, and then later in the evening I was shooting, I can never say this properly, but the Macarenes chain, so the big galaxy cluster, and it's surprising, like you don't see this field of view, and when I'm talking this field of view, it fully encompasses the constellation of Crux with white space around it, or I should say black space around it. So I've taken this photo of this galaxy cluster, and the amount of galaxies in here is just incredible, so looking at all of those galaxies with the face-on spirals, the irregulars, peculiar galaxies, all of that interacting, can't wait to see what it comes up like when everything gets pushed in. So there was that. So that was the weekend away. Once we got back, I set up again and kept on rolling on some other targets. We finished the second panel of I'm going to call it a collaboration with Luke Shepherd. He does a lot of our 3D printing, but he's also an astrophotographer just like us. And so he has a spare camera at the moment, and I have a spare imaging rig. So collaboration where I'm taking the data and Luke is working on the, you could call it the processing side of it. So Luke was working this weekend on our Carina. So it's from the Running Chicken Nebula right the way through to, we call it the Smiles Nebula or Banana Nebula. So it's I think it's a Wolf Riot star, and you see this big curvature or bow shock wave, whatever you want to call it. I'd have to do a little bit more research to be able to give you that full, but it encompasses the whole Carina Nebula, Gabriel Mistral, Statue of Liberty, tadpoles, all of them right the way through. It's actually quite amazing to see. It's just such a massive field of view, and to be able to do it in one shot, it makes it even better. So we'll have that up soon. I think Luke's just going through the last bits of the walk away stage before we go back and do the final edits, and then we can put that up. I was working as well, and I've just finished the processing of my Statue of Liberty data. That is close to 24 hours worth of 15-minute exposures in HS&O, and it's come out as an amazing photo. So crisp and clear. It's got all the depth of field. So it's great to be able to do some astrophotography again after such a long hiatus. What else have we got going on? Well, I haven't done too much, but been working on the filter wheel, finalising the integration of the Bluetooth LE protocols. So that's not too far away from being done and ready to start doing some final tests to make sure that all the algorithms are reading properly. Dan and I have been working on the software integration side of it for the PC. That shouldn't be too far away. I think that side of it's actually done. We're just waiting for the testing component. So that's that side done. Oh yeah, you would have noticed that we did a little bit of, I think Jess put up some information about me working on a Paramount ME. So we're finally, this big box just here, we're finally preparing to recommission, I guess, an observatory. We've gotten to the point where that is about to start happening. And the first step was to make sure, get rid of all the old cabling, strip that back, getting prepped, and then waking up, I could say, the Paramount ME. It took a little bit to get going. It kept on saying it had a stalled motor, and pulling the covers off, one of the gear motors was, I think the declination was really hard, and it makes an absolute hideous noise. So we got it going, but I'm going to have to pull that whole piece out, have a look at it, relubricate all of the deck and the worm gears. It really deserves it, I should say. But yeah, so we have to redo all of that, get that prepped and ready. Once that's done, then we can put the 12-inch on. And I think working with the school, we're going to be collating a couple of the students, and I'm going to be getting them to, over here, you may know it over there in the States, but we have a thing called Lego League, and it's basically robotics for children. What we're doing here with, robotic mounts, I mean, it even has it on the side of it. So robotic mounts for kids. So we want to get those children involved so that they can see what robotics is about. And then obviously work our way through setting up the 12-inch. It's not much to set up, to be honest, but get that ready because it's got the auto focusing, it's got the guiding, so it's the closed loop. And then we've got the software side of it where we will be setting up schedules and telling it to go across the sky during the evening. Opening the dome, closing the dome. It's a big clamshell variant, so it's not a enclosed one, so it opens up to the night sky fully. So it'll be good to do that. And then obviously doing some science behind it. There's a gentleman that came and gave a talk at one of our AGWA meetings, and it was about doing comets, variable stars, all of these other bits and pieces. So I think the children will really love getting into that, hopefully, but I know that there's a lot of curious minds. What else have we got? I think the final one would be the preparation for NEAF. It's not too much more to prepare for at the moment. We're basically just laying out our stall, making sure we're getting all the right bits and pieces, the pamphlets and the stickers and the small giveaways. I believe we've got some banners getting made at the moment because last year we were on the lighter side and we were learning completely about it. So every year we hope to just get that little bit better. Well, I think the last part about it is update for the SP3 itself. The SP3 is we're reaching out a little bit further, and I'll call it the extended beta testers. There's a gent called Rural Astro. I believe his name is Ethan, and you should give him a follow if you're on Instagram because he's doing an 8-inch Newtonian build, close to my heart. And the SP3 is probably going to be a good fit for his system and his goals with what he'd like to do with the telescope afterwards. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I think that's going to be pretty fun to watch the SP3 spread its wings as people start using it. Well, at this stage, I don't think there's too much more to go for an update. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're able to do some astronomy of any flavour and get out under the night sky. Well, until then, till next Tuesday, I'll talk to you soon.